Good morning. A slight wind, and we're on the start of our morning wander. I can see blue when I look up, and it's peeking out from behind a vast amounts of grey clouds, and there's a heck of a lot of water collected overnight. The size of these puddles compared to yesterday shows it. My water collection buckets had dropped yesterday through use and stuff, and this morning they're all up to the brim, so I'm gonna do a bit of what's it called, relocating the water into the feeders, well, not feeders but the drinkers, the drinking tubs, so that they've got access to that and there's still room for more to be collected. So it's an excellent day with yet a lot of water, and I still do not have to go for water, so that is another win. I really could do with getting the IBCs, I think, because I can start collecting more that'll last longer. I was thinking it was potentially the last of the rains for this year, but we've still got the rest of March and April, and Portugal's known for April being a fairly wet month. Now, whereas up in Viseu, March and April were quite high for rainfall, over here in Castelo Branco it's not quite the same as November and December, which seem to be the highest months for rain, and we've already gone through that. So it's certainly something to think about, and think if this is something I want to prioritise for what I do next. It really is something that I'm thinking might be a very good idea. But when you live on a budget, it's certainly worth paying much more attention into whether I want to spend nearly €300 on getting the system, or, well, when I say system, it's just the IBCs that guttering I need to collect, and the hosing, pipes and stuff I'll have to buy. But to be able to do that, it's still going to cost around €300, and that's a lot of money for most people to find in a month or so. I shall contemplate and feel into which way I want to go, because it would make sense, and water is important, but it's certainly something that I have no problem with getting, because I have to drive past the font whenever I go out anyway. So it's not like I go out of my way to get it, it's on the routes that I drive. And it's also another good measure. Wow, there's sheep in this field to the left today. It's the first time I've seen sheep in here since maybe December. So you can't see them very well, but they're right over there. And Portugal, in my experience so far, had been sheep farmers with very little land and quite a lot of sheep, who were eating it bare, and people in the community were worried about the sheep. So it's nice to be in an area where the landowners seem to have a bit of a rotation system going on, and the sheep are moving from field to field, and they're not spending long in each one, which allows the ground to recover and would help things last longer. It means you've got very busy sheep farmers moving sheep from fields to fields. But it's also really good for the environment, really good for the sheep. I'm sure the exercise is beneficial for the sheep farmers too. And the more ground that gets covered, hopefully the less the broom will grow. The more grazed land, certainly better overall for prevention of wildfires. Although I'm sure that you need goats, more goats, and there doesn't seem to be quite enough goats around here because there's a high amount of broom. You can see it just about everywhere. There's nowhere where broom is not, apart from in the immediate shelter of the cork oaks, where the cork oaks are big enough to block out the light. They seem to, even that one over there, you can't really see from this angle, but in the immediate surrounding of the tree there was nothing, and then as the light hits the ground you then get the cork oak growing a bit like this, you see. And I've been looking at all the different cork oaks all over and seeing the similarities. Where the light gets in, you can see plenty of broom and things growing underneath, but where it doesn't, you see quite big clearings where there isn't very much growing at all. So it would seem that because all these oak trees that we're looking at, well, not all, the majority of all of the cork oak trees that you see are so immature, they're so tiny that they've not had a chance to do their thing and to protect the land from the masses of broom growth. So it's still out of balance. I mean, it's not really, it's planted in like an orchard rather than a forest. Forests don't grow in lines, they don't grow, well, they do grow next to each other, but it's completely different how nature would decide to grow with varieties of tree compared to that man-made forest. Here you can see an example of what I was on about. So the broom's where the light is, and all that space in there is broom free. It's just right around the edge of the crown of the tree. So it certainly shows the benefit of having mature trees. Thankfully, you're not allowed to cut down cork oaks in Portugal. So all of these should, I believe, grow to a ripe old age, at which point it's going to be a stunning canopy. But I wish there'd be some other trees in between, because even though they're fairly fire resistant cork oaks, you could do with a mixture of different trees in amongst them to help with that. Any form of monoculture just creates an imbalance, so it's really important to bring other plants and trees in. So anyway, we're now at the centre, well, the centre point for the views,
but not the centre of the walk. And this is the bit where I can see over Escolas de Cima over to the right, and it's a fabulous view of blue sky, Escolas de Cima, grey cloud, and it's looking like it's raining over there in Castelo Branco, right up there. Can you hear the cuckoo? How cool. Like I said, it was an amazing day for water, and I filled up one of the water things, but unfortunately due to the fact it wasn't hanging straight, it's emptied half of it out. So I think I'm going to get some water and bottle it up, and at least then there's more space in the containers for more water. When you're eating your porridge and you've got a friend who wants to help you. Oh. Just moving, like checking my pocket, I thought, oh, there's something in my pocket. It's an egg and it's broke. Farm life. So it's only broke at the end, but still I've got an eggy pocket now. Oh, do you want some egg, Batty? I'll sort him out some egg. Well, I'm just sitting down for a minute again, because while I was sorting things out, Bear had got himself out of the enclosure and was chasing the ducks. I heard the noise, turn around, there was Bear chasing after the ducks, split them up, trying to get one on its own. And yeah, chased them right through. Luckily they got through the fence in time, but they're not going to be like that forever, because the ducklings are getting bigger. Gets in, was trying to break into the guinea pig enclosure. In the end I had to get a piece of fencing to use as like a stop board, squash him into a corner because he was trying to get away from me, and like basically kneel on him while I wrestled him to get his lead on. That was not an energetic part of today. Rather frustrating, to be quite honest with you. So I'm gonna go and put the kettle on and have some chamomile tea. He's now tied up again, which is his own fault. Yeah, he'd been doing so well. Every time he does so well, and then he does something like that. Good boy. Good boy, Batty. You're a good boy, you are. Good boy. Yeah. Hey? You're a good boy, aren't you? They're your babies. Yep. They're the babies. Nearly everyone's in bed. Come on, Eric, take girls to bed. Well, there was Flo in bed. It would seem that everyone wanted to go to bed because I've been invited out for cake. These guys don't want to go at the minute. Come on. Flo, I'm going to go out in a minute. Eric, get your girls in bed. It's been a really good day and I've had some lovely visitors. I got Litty and Lud called over, and it was a pleasure to meet them, welcome them into the space. Litty is a acupuncturist who also does, I think, shiatsu, but all sorts of different medicine, all connected with energy, which is exciting stuff. Lud does construction. He also runs goats in Portugal, or Goaty Portugal or something. It's really cool to meet new friends and just share this beautiful space. Bear showed what a good, lovable soul he can be.
and what a great lump, and has been behaving really well since this morning. Well, I guess it was an afternoon's chase. No, it was morning's chase. And now I'm just settling down, waiting for the chickens to go to bed, because I've been invited out because Moira's done some home baking, and I love home baking. So I'll be heading off to enjoy home baking at Moira's. I had a funny thing happen as well. My stick with a heart exploded. Because the rain had it expand, and it's created a handful of wooden hearts, which are now sat on my table looking all lovey and stuff. So there's still a heart on a stick over there, but the rest of the hearts are sat on the table. I thought, well, maybe if they dry out a bit I can turn them into wind chimes or something and get creative. So today has been a very, very good day, in the way that despite Bear's behaviour, we've still achieved a lot. I've still been able to share my space, or share our space, because it's not just me here, is it, with all these animals. And I've also been able to connect with people that are fairly local. Also being able to do some work today and collect water. That's how we started. This morning was the collecting water and putting it all into bottles. In the end we got 8 5-litre bottles of water bottled up from all what I'd collected, and looking by the sky there may still be a little bit of rain to fall, so hopefully I've emptied everywhere in time, and there's still plenty of water in there for the ducks and the chickens, but at least 8 bottles filled up is considerable amount of water that I've not got to go and get, because I've got it. I'm gonna just take it over and put it in there for the ducks to have over that side. But they have water and things to play with all over the place. So it's been a blessing, and it's been a blessing to be able to share eggs and things as well, so, and oranges. So especially when there's such an abundance, it's not right to just let your abundance go to waste when you can share it with people. It's a blessing. People can come round and you share, and sharing is just so beautiful. So I'm going to go now and take the wheelbarrow full of water bottles over to the chicken and duck and guinea house over there, so it can be stored in the shade. I've got a few bottles over for the dogs. Got a bottle inside for washing up with. So we're doing really well. I'm really happy about all that. Now I've got some eggs in the car to take round to Moira and Too Short. So it's sharing the abundance, sharing the love, and there's a whole lot of love at the moment. Just even with wooden hearts expanding and throwing themselves all over the place. It's all good. It's all wonderful. So I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'm sending lots of love to everyone wherever you are. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to keep up to date with what we're doing, and take care.